let's see the next question. The next question is talking about finding the range. Now be careful on the stem and leaf. This will be your stem, which is the 10th. Those will be the ones. When you read this number, that's 11. This one will be 15. So now, but when we discuss the word range, the word range is always maximum minus the minimum. Now, what we mean by the maximum? Maximum will be the last number on the chart. So the last number is right here, 40 and then 7. So 47 will be the last number. Now, the smallest number on the graph, which is the minimum, that will be the first one right here, which is what? Minus 11. So the range of this data will be 36. So now the next problem, what we have to do is we have to find the standard deviation, and be careful, this is standard deviation of the sample. So now we'll go ahead and we'll look at how we can create that. The best way is to go ahead and create that using the table. So here is your x, which is 22, 29, 21, 24, 27, 28, 25, and 36. And after that, what we need to do, we need to find the mean. How we can find the mean? We can add them all and divide by n, which is what we mean by this is the sum. So to find the mean, it's the sum of x over n. What's the sum of x? Those are your x. Go ahead and add them. How would you add them? You add on the calculator 22 plus 29 plus 21, so you end up with 158. Now, 158, and how many are there? There are 8 numbers, so if we divide by 8, count them again, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, that's 5, that's 6, 7, 8. So if I divide by 8, the mean of this data will become 26.5. Remember, we're dealing with sample, therefore I'll put the mean right here and I'll fill the whole entire table by 26.5 for each actually data right here, 26.5. Now when we go to the next one, we're going to say take the value, subtract the mean, and then square the value all the way using the table right here. So it's going to be like 22 minus 26.5, and then we square. The answer will be 20.25. And we do the next one, which is 29 minus 26.5, and we square, and we get the value, which is 6.25. Now, if you keep on doing that, so therefore this will be 30.25. The next one will be 6.25. The next one will be 0.25. And this will be, if we're not skipping any, hopefully, this will be 0.25. This will be 2.25, and this will be also 2.25. You know, check them, make sure you're not missing any. So 26, 30, I think I put 2 of them here, so make sure you count them. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one data, but you go ahead and find out which data is missing by adding all. But then when you do the sum of this data, the sum of the last column, the sum of x minus the mean, when you add them all up, by the way, I think I found the mistake. We were talking about The sum of x is not 115. The sum of all this will be actually 212. 212 divided by 8 is 20, it's still 26.5, which is we have no problem. Now when we add the sum of all x, I'll end up with 158. Now what is the variance over here? The variance, well, let me put first a symbol. The variance will be actually sigma squared, which is equal 158. Divide that by n minus 1, since it's a sample. If it is a population, we'll divide only by n. So we'll go ahead and say this is 158 divided by 7, because n is 8. As we indicate right here, n must be 8. So when we divide by 7, you end up with 22.57. Now what is the standard deviation? Is the square root of the variance, which equals the square root of 22.57, and that will be 4.8. You can actually use the calculator to fill out the values right here. When you go to actually edit, as you can see, look at this tab, edit, and then you enter the values. Enter the value. I'm just going to show you a couple of them, and then 29, and then 21, and 24. Now in the next one, you'll fill out the mean. The mean is going to be the same all over, 26.5, 26.5, and so on. Now after you fill actually the data in, what happens when you move to the next one, if you want to write the formula, you can do the following. Go up, use the arrow key to go up, and then you open the parentheses. And basically you type list 1, second, list 1, minus second, list 2, which is number 2. You close the parentheses, and then you square the value. And you hit enter the minute. Because what happened is I did not put the value right here for the last one. So what I need to go in here. As you can see, my values is not the same. What I need to do, I need to clear this. $26.5. Now I didn't have this match because I have the same number. Now when I input the formula, I go all the way on the top. I use the arrow key to go on the top. I open parentheses. I put second, list 1, which is number 1, minus second, list 2, which is number 2. You close the parentheses and you square. When you square and you hit enter, then the calculation will come up in front of you. And then you can follow this. So basically, you want to focus on the formula, how to find this column. You need to add this column up. So let me go ahead and we need to add this. Just make sure it matches. I try to show you at least a few, but you should be able to actually match them across and find out which one is which. And and you go through the whole thing one by one. Now let's go to the next one. But what I want to say over here, the variance right here for the sample. So let me write the word sample. It's always the sum of x minus x bar squared, and we divide by n minus 1. For the population, it's always going to be the same exact formula, but instead of dividing by n minus 1, we always divide by the sample size. That is the variance. A standard deviation is not bad because you just take the square root of the number. Now we move to the next problem, and the next problem says you have a list right here, and the question is to find the third quartile. Now, according to our list, or according to our setting, when you have a set like this one, this will be your Q1, this will be your Q2, this will be your Q3. Right here, this will be the maximum value, and the other side, that will be your minimum value. So Q2 is your median of the whole entire data. If you look at this one, that will be the median right here. So Q1 will be the median in the first set of the data, but Q3 will be the median for the last one. So they're all talking about the median, the one in the middle. But it depends when. This is the median for the entire data, Q2, but Q3 is the median for the second set of data. So now let's find out, first of all, where is your Q2 to start with. So let's go ahead and list them on the number line: 36, 45, 49, 53, 55, 56, 59, 61, 62, 65, 66, 72, 77, 78, 82, 88, 91, 94, and 96. So to find Q2, we'll go ahead and do the following: 1 and 2 from this side, 1 and 2 from this side, 1, 2 from this side, 1 and 2 from this side, 1 and 2 from this side, followed by 1 and 2 from this side, 1 and 2 from this side, 1 and 2 from this side, but then we have 2. I'm missing one data, so let me clean it up and make sure that I'm not missing any, because it looks like I'm missing a number. Let me clean the data up, and that's why you have to be careful when you type the number. You will not miss any. If you miss any, you will end up with a number which is not right. So let me go ahead and type one line at a time: 36, 45, 49, 53, 55. And I prefer, instead of doing that, do the following from the set. First of all, I look if they're in order, which is good. I'll just say, look, let me go ahead and cross out what. So if I do this, I'll be crossing out 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go from the beginning: 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now we move on to the next one. one from this side, and then one from this side. Now, let's see, 1, 2, and 3. And also we go back to the beginning and we say 1, 2, and 3. Now, let's be very careful. Now do it by 1. There's one from this side and one from this side. So Q2 will be what? Q2 will be 60, 65. Maybe that's better since they're already in order. What I want to do, I want to clean the one from 65 and on because I'm interested in Q3. So I could now list them in front of me so I could see what I'm dealing with. So we have 66, 72, 77, 78, 82, 88, 91, 94, and 96. That is the number between actually Q2 and the maximum number. So we'll do the same thing. We'll try to find the median. So we'll try to find the median, one from here and one from here, one from here, and the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Is very clearly Q3 will be 82. If I want Q1, then I'll be using the first half instead. So, but notice first we found our Q2 to start with, and then we go with that. So this will be our Q3. Now, let's go to the next problem. The next problem will be, it's actually the next problem will be, you have scores, test score, and the final exam and the homework exam. Each test worth 20%. So what we have is actually each test worth 20%. So if we're saying, okay, each test worth 20%. So we'll go to the first one, 20% times the first test, plus 20% times the second test, plus 20% times the third test, since we have 3 tests. So I go in and fill in the test, which is 62 and 83 and 91. That's the test. The final exam is 88, and the final exam worth 20%. Each test is worth 20% of the final grade. The final exam is 25%. So when I add right, I come and say 25% times whatever the final is. So let's go ahead and find out what's the final. The final is what score? The final is 88. The score is 88. Now we add to that, what do we have also? We have 15% is homework. So 15% times whatever is accomplished in the homework. If you look back at the homework was 76. So if you actually use a calculator to multiply, remember those, they came from test. This, it came from final, and that's from homework. So if you add all this up, which is, it will be 80.6. You multiply each one, and then you continue to add them all up when you're done. Now let's look at this problem. This problem is about the usage of the empirical rule. And the empirical rule basically is a bill shape, it's symmetrical on both sides. One standard deviation is equal to 68%, which is plus or minus 1, and 2 standard deviation will be equal 95%, and 3 standard deviation will become 99.7%. So on the graph, when we talk about 1 standard deviation, we're talking about this area right here. This area right here, that is 34 on each side, total of 68%. When you go to 95%, that will be adding 13.5 on each side, and that is 95%. This is available on the back of the formula sheet, the one you're going to use for the midterm. So you can see the percentage and this for each one. So when we talk about this, we're talking about the mean plus or minus 1 standard deviation, the mean plus or minus 2 standard deviation, and this is also the mean plus or minus 3 standard deviation. Now, according to this one right here, it says we have the mean. So here is my score right here. The mean in the middle, which is 476. This is my mean. Each standard deviation is 94. If I'm going to add to that 94, what's 476 plus 94? That will give me 570. So then this will be 570 on this side, and then two standard deviation will be 664. So by saying 570 plus another 94, and that should be 664. That's where should I stop actually. So if you look at the bell shape right here, the first one, the first standard deviation according to this one is very clear from the picture, that is 34%. The next one in line, that is 13.5%. So the total area in this region and in the same time, that will be, it's actually 34% plus 13.5%, which is 47.5%.